Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab, episode number 119, Oh Christmas Tree. And it should be, Where Art Thou? Right now, I'm applying some Cocoa Brown and Desert Sand Memento ink to the trunk of my Christmas tree, which I have colored in using New Sprout, Pear Tart, Bamboo Leaves, Cottage Ivy, a hint of Bahama Blue, and Danube Blue. Right now I'm applying some Sakura metallic pins to the stars that are on my tree. I had done a lot of heavy editing on this video and somehow managed to delete the entire first part from my computer. Luckily, I still had this second part on my camera, so I was able to re-upload and then edit and get this one ready to upload to YouTube. I initially wanted this to be Willow, but I somehow misplaced Willow's gowns about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and she's just been naked since then. I actually made myself ill looking for her, and I'm sure we've all been there. So suffice it to say, I'm substituting for Willow. What I'm doing here is using my silver metallic pen to go around the star at the top of the tree. It will be filled in later with glue. Now I want to go through my bling box, and yes, this is how I keep it, to pull out some pearls to put on the circles that are on my tree. I'm using my reverse tweezers to do this because it's really easy to pick them up and apply this way. Now, after applying this red one, I realized my tweezers were scratching some of my pearls, and I didn't want that. So I switched out to my Cricut spatula, and just to let you know, that works just as well as the reverse tweezers. You could also use a craft knife. I did go back and retake out the green ones because I realized I needed that to add just a little bit more oomph to my tree. And there it is thus far. Now I want to glitter in that star, and I'm using some really chunky silvery glitter from Making Memories, and of course my favorite adhesive, Glossy Accents, to fill that in. This has a little shaker top, and I didn't want to take it off because I didn't want to have glitter everywhere. And now using Glossy Accents to go around the trim on the tree. And the reason I put the pearls down first is because some of the pearls overlap the trim, and I didn't want to have to go back later and try to squeeze in the pearls in between. But I think this adds a really nice sparkly effect to the tree. So now for the measurements of my card, which I cut to fit an envelope that I already had. The cream base is watercolor paper, and it's 8.5 by 5 1/4. The red is 8 1/4 by 5. The green 8 by 4 1/2. And finally, the black is 7 3/4 by 4 1/4. And as you can see, I use my layered paper to get other images outside of that. And my tree is 5.5 by 4, so it fits in there beautifully. And here on the inside, I used the Hero Art stamp. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my card to the front so that I can get to sharing with you just how I created those little presents that you see on the inside, and that I'm also going to use to decorate the outside of my card. And the presents for this, the paper is from a Recollections pack that I picked up last year. So I used the deep edge punch and then used my quickie glue pen to glue them down and create layers, which makes it actually very three-dimensional. Now my Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is from Hampton Art Studio G, a little dollar stamp I think it might have been, or by the time I got it on clearance it was $1. I love using my quickie glue pen. It's very precise and very fine, and I can get into the tiniest little bits of corners. Now I must admit that once I got these all put together, I realized that I wanted an additional present under the tree, and as you're going to see, I used some of the polka dotted paper to get the job done. Well, once it was all together and I looked at it, I realized I did not like the polka dotted paper, so I have since replaced that one with a solid red present under the tree. Quite catching. What do you think? Now I'm just taking my silver metallic pen and just adding a little bit of oomph to the green present that's down there. And here, friends, is my completed card. Now, I can't say that you can bang out a whole bunch of these in one sitting, but for that special person or those special people, you can get, I'd say, about 10 of them done in a couple of days. Anyway, I do plan to come back and show you an alternative to this embossed Christmas tree folder from Darice. I am actually quite pleased with the way it turned out. Thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkallusions.blogspot.com. Until then,